Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. Now, if you watched yesterday's video, which in fact in YouTube years is still to happen in the future, then you know that I created 20 pieces of ephemera out of a decorative box from drawer liner paper. And I should apologize for the state of my hands. I was cutting up purple cabbage for our salad at noon. Anyway, I thought, okay, let's strike while the iron is hot and get these things allocated and attached, glued in, pinned in, whatever it is, in these 4 blush journals. So to save some time, I basically flipped through them. And again, it's like you can't have favorites among your children. And not all the elements were divisible by 4. But then I also rationalized that this big girl, has 5 signatures, whereas these others are, I think, all single signatures. So, in case you're keeping score, they didn't all get the same amount of stuff. Before I begin, okay, I'm going to set them aside. I think maybe this one was the most naked, so maybe we'll start with that one. Now, I know it's been a while since you have seen these journals. I have been, working behind the scenes, getting stuff ready, and of course doing other things. So it's not a flip through because it's not ready for that. However, I didn't use bookmarks or anything to mark the pages I need, so you will probably get glimpses of what's been going on. But I have some really good news. Because I talk about it, and maybe your behavior is, or your situation is the same, I have misplaced a lot of stuff. So it actually got to the point where I made a list of things that I'm on the hunt for. Not on the hunt, want to find. Not that I want to replace or buy or anything, but I just want to find them so I can get on with my life. Excuse me. Let me have a swig of this brown liquid here. And no, it's not rye whiskey. However, but you can't see anything in there. It is calf lib, which is a beverage. It looks like instant coffee. However, it's made of chicory. It is a non-caffeinated version of coffee. So if you feel like, oh, I need a warm brown liquid, it serves a purpose, particularly if caffeine is causing you any sort of issues. Anyway, that's a digression. One of the things that I've been missing is this sad iron, and today I found it. I should have probably weighed it before. Oh, and some rust or something is falling off it. Anyway, the reason I was intent on finding it is because I saw a video, and of course, I don't remember whose it was, but excuse me, the lady was using her sad iron as a weight when she was gluing stuff. And I thought, genius. So I'm really glad I have this. And I don't know if I'm going to need it right in this video, but at least now I have it. Okay. This, of course, the cover is not done, but let's just go. Okay. So because this is the journal that got the fringe from Kim, I thought, well, why don't we just, I should have had this lying down. Why don't we just add this right here? I mean, soft colors, it seems like it fits. Maybe while that is doing its thing, I'll just quickly use art glitter glue. Whoops. Did you see how that could have landed jam side down? Peanut butter side down. I've also switched from peanut butter, which I love, crunchy, chunky peanut butter, to I like the all-natural stuff that you have to stir and stir and stir, and then store upside down in the fridge. I'll let that extend beyond because we have the space. I mean, we have the, it doesn't matter. And he switched to almond butter because presumably it's better for you. Okay. So what I tried to do was find a spot, and let's not glue this in upside down. I did end up trimming this pocket on this side just because in a tall skinny, and of course if I would have remembered that 2 of the journals are tall skinnies, I might have cut the box up differently. Anyway, I tried to give kind of an equal distribution of this ephemera. I must have hit a pothole in the road right there. Anyway, this one is actually going to extend beyond the page, but because I have this fabric, snippet on the other side, I think it will be A-okay. Oh, but is that going to be a problem? See, I trimmed, you probably can't see, but I trimmed this flush, but maybe I need to, let's lift this while I still can. Maybe I need to take this, but that's going to look dumb. Maybe I won't worry about it. We'll see if it becomes a problem, and then I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Okay, and remember the trick I mentioned, not that I invented it, but I listened to somebody else say it, that basically as she was gluing down pockets, she would insert something into the pocket, like a bone folder, and just sort of work it in there a bit to have the pocket not lie down quite as flat as it sometimes does, where you can hardly slide a single piece of paper into it. So I think that works. When I used a bone folder, it lifted, it made kind of a real wow in the pocket. So I'm not doing that anymore. Oh, here. This I thought I would, I can't do it, but I should clip it at least. I thought that I would, because this is a linen, like an embroidered piece of linen. Or am I going to rethink that now? I thought that I would sew that down, but then that creates, something to then hide on this side. Maybe I should just glue it down, be done with it. That leaves my options for the other side wide open. I'm just putting the glue on the paper parts because let the fabric ruffle extend beyond if it wants to. And I just thought that the embroidery around that, is that a lot of glue? Sorry if you can't see that, but maybe it will be all right. There's maybe a little bleed through there. See, I was so intent on making sure it sticks because, of course, fabric is so limp. Well, we can cross that bridge when we come to it if this remains unacceptable. Okay, this. So I seem to be using mostly Fabri-Tac, maybe because these things have a bit of heft to them. So again, if I would have remembered that I had a tall skinny to worry about, I would have made two of the 4 slightly taller. I think this has to be here. But because I didn't, it's good that I had the foresight to extend the length of it. Boy, that was crooked. With that fabric ruffle. So I think I'm just going to basically try to center this roughly. What is happening on this? Oh, this is just a piece of cardstock, so I'll glue it flush to the edge of the page. As it is, the problem with a tall skinny is that there isn't a great deal of space to put things in. However, if we do the old spatula thing, don't want to lift the edges though. And again, you know, sometimes it's more an aesthetic feature on a page than it is a practical one. You know, typically there are so many hidey holes and places to tuck things that, why do I keep running to the edge of that? That you don't actually need, you know, every single thing to be full-sized pocket. Let's see if there's anything else I tucked in this one. Could be it. And again, you think, oh, these are pretty close to being done, until you realize, oh, I intended to, just to show you one example, I have this pinned. Now, I think I should just glue that and get rid of those pins, because how am I supposed to sew that nicely? It would have to be hand sewing. How am I supposed to do that without it looking ugly on one side? Now, because this is a little scalloped on this side, even this gluing is a bit iffy. I love these tiny little pins, and I think I've shown you they're about an inch long, I would say. I've shown you in past videos how I bought it on a roll. This is what the roll looks like. So every set of holes represents one pin. So I seem to keep encountering those tomato pin cushions. So I've now put, you know, probably 100 or more pins in a little pin cushion so that they're handy. I have multiple pin cushions in multiple locations, because, you know, it's one of those things that is cheap, easily accessible, and my goodness, it saves time, effort, brain power to, that wasn't good. That glue oozed out. Let me see if I can stretch one of these to get a better looking result on this side too. Yeah, it's one of those things that's easier, you know, I think some people maybe do that with reading glasses. You know, they've got multiple pairs scattered everywhere, including the top of their head, so that when they need a pair, they have a pair. And I feel the same way about some basic crafting supplies. Far better to have duplicates spread around than spend half your life looking for it, walking to it, turning over, you know, heaven and earth to find it. So let's just grab another one of these. Okay, on this one, I thought I would just glue this here. And again, we want to be a bit different here. Oh, I've got height there. So maybe what I'll do is let me just grab a pencil. Roughly make a teeny mark as to where the glue should end, and do it on the page. So I'm going to do it in an L shape so that I have, whoa, that's a big blob, an upper tuck. I do have enough room in this journal, both height-wise and width-wise, to be able to have the ruffle extend on that side and this little peak on this side. So let's just look. And on this side, it doesn't look bad either, because that's just, you know, the color of an old box. So that is an upper tuck. Okay, what else? What else? What else? Oh, here. So, because, like, I've got a little bit of this frayed stuff here and this ribbon ruffle here, I think this is not going to... Let me reach for something. If only I had something. Yeah, that little fringe is not going to matter there. And, you know, don't be afraid to turn your project whichever way you need it, so that you're most likely to, I mean, obviously, if I wasn't doing a video, it would be easier, but since I am, it still makes more sense for me to do it this way, so I can see that I'm actually lining up the bottom there. And I'm sorry if any of this sounds like, oh my God, give us some credit, we know something. That's certainly not my intention to make anyone feel like they haven't thought of those kinds of things. I just remember, excuse me, being a beginner and being, well, but it's my nature also, to just be brimming with questions. And, you know, frankly, sometimes you can write to a channel, but if all they do is heart your comment, you're still not any better off than before you ask the question. That's why I try to be cognizant of that, because I remember how it felt. Anyway, I think there are quite a few new subscribers, and thank you so much for doing that. And people who really are just dipping their toes into the water. So in a case like that, you know, I think that I have a pretty succinct way of explaining things. I believe that words are a tool, and if we use them properly, they really make our lives better. And by saying some of those things, basics, but maybe if you're brand new and you're full of questions, you haven't thought of them, I just think it saves some grief. And, this is, it saves some grief, and it saves some time, and it just makes it a more satisfying experience. Now, this is an over-the-page thing, fairly thick. So this is just obviously a colored paper clip, and I just had put a bead on there, but it almost is being stretched to the max to fit over this, because it is thick, so that's not the best look in the world, but okay, we're leaving that as a paper clip. Oh, a pocket here. This is from a wallpaper book, and of course, you know, they always show colored pages, colored pictures of how beautiful your room would look if you bought their wallpaper. So, you know, this is probably gobbing up here because I'm leaving it on its side, but I don't want to keep having to wait for it. It was funny, I finally remembered to do some photos for the last video, so that when the time comes and it actually airs, I have something to share on Instagram and Facebook and, you know, coffee and wherever else I want to. Anyway, it wasn't until later that I realized that I had taken photos with one of the pockets upside down. So Little wary about that. Wouldn't that be something? Oh, damn it. Well, maybe no harm done. That's one of those more luck than brains moments. Oh, this is that thick. Okay. I was thinking, why does it seem so thick? Because it is. But thanks for asking. Oh, I was trying to get some little space in there. We had some ferocious winds for several days. And again, that's going to not make any sense if you know what the Alberta weather is like right when you're watching this. But it managed to break about a 2.5 foot section of my cucumbers off because I have raised beds. So there went that. And I think it even had cucumbers on it. Now, this was not part of the thing that we did, the 20 pieces. However, since I have glue, and since I'm here, I might as well glue it down. This is from long ago and far away. This bottle needs to be refilled, and then it wouldn't be as cumbersome or as long waiting for the glue to descend. I've also noticed, and it's probably going to be true in this video too, that I have a shadow. Now, it's a bright, sunny day. It's, it's still daylight. But this boom thing that holds my camera obviously casts a shadow right where, right where the action is. So I sure hope I don't have to start turning on my other lamps in the middle of summer. Number one of them gets really quite warm. And number two, the other one giving me a headache. Okay, this guy. I think it, or was, I thought it looked better on this page. I mean, it would work here too, but I thought it would look better here because it is, against a white background. Now, who knows? I may do some stamping there or not. I think I'll do the same thing and make this a tuck. So a little, oh, that's rounded. I might have to. And there. Maybe I should do this before it's glued down. Just take a little microscopic chunk off. Whoops, almost knocked my coffee over. That would have been fun. So I hope that yesterday's video and what you're seeing me do today makes you inclined to challenge yourself in the same way. Like find a box that you've been hoarding, or now mind you, those scented drawer papers that we now find, say in the dollar store, they're different boxes. I think they have covers, which again, I guess with some skillful cutting would work. Okay, that's it for this one. But if you find a vintage box, that could definitely work. We'll leave the big guy for last, or the big girl for last. Oh, I know. The first thing I put in here was this, and there were several places that I thought she could work, but I decided to go here. And of course, it's way too short for a tall page like this, but I just thought it would because there's a design top and bottom, I'm going to be able to get away with it. So again, we're adding a bubble of glue. I'm adding the glue, and I will just kind of probably center it. That's kind of getting to be a thick line there. Whoops. Okie dokie. So again, I'm going to have the edge flush. I do have that little sticker and quote at the bottom there. So yeah, I still think I'm going to try to center it roughly. I mean, I didn't measure, but just, I think I'll get away with it if it's not really in the center. Oh, you know what? I didn't need to put glue on the short ends, did I? It could have just been a tuck spot as opposed to a pocket. Oh well. Would you believe me if I told you that that's what I planned all along? To have a pocket and not a side tuck? I didn't think so. Have another swig of calf lip. This journal is probably the most... oh, I really skimped on this. Did I only give it one item? Huh. I probably thought I was going to come back to it, but oh well. It is the most, the decorating in it is the furthest along. Okay, this one, I don't even have a pocket of any sort right here. Oh, these are some extras that I want to use somewhere. So I thought I would put this, and we're going to make this just a tuck spot and not a pocket. So I'm going to get, I hope you can see, get it as flush as the cover, but not beyond. So that's just, oh my goodness, that gob of glue. It's getting worse as time goes on. I don't know how many more things there are, so hopefully before long we'll be done. Okay, so through the lace, I can see and or feel where the cover itself actually ends. Okay. Let me tuck this back in here. Okay, I've got this. Now, I was thinking on this one, since it's a digital on this side, and again, I'll probably stamp or stencil or something there. I was thinking that this could be my thing. So that's how it would look on the busy side. And it looks pretty nice on the other side. So maybe, what should I do? I could make this a tuck too. But what do I do on this side? Okay, I think I know. So I'm going to put glue along here, and maybe even in the little fold. Is that going to... Okay, if it was just glue there, that would flap open. So I'm going to have to go around these two little curved edges. Okay, so what did I just say? here, here, there, and there. Does that sound right? Yikes. And this, you know, by doing it this way, I'm sure it's probably helping stabilize these areas that were weakened. I should probably try to... Okay. Are you holding your breath? You know, there is that corner, what do they call it? Corner tuck or something. And I've done those in the past, I think maybe during the 100-day project. Anyway, Carol from Crinkled Path did one for her giraffe journal. And she, if this was the corner, she made a giraffe head. Like, pretty impressive, I gotta say. Oh, here's a pocket. I think I intended it to be on this side because that already has, yeah, let's put this here. So I hope that, no, you're not going to see this till the early part or mid-August. It's still the end of July when I'm taping this, but it's, you know, that whole thing about how time speeds up the older we get. I cannot believe that another summer is half gone or more than half gone. Like, what is with this? Oh, let's do the old spatula thing. I guess what happens here is that it, well, not microscopically, but very minutely, probably sucks in the edges, the short edges of the pocket, to give that little extra bit of room. Okay. So obviously there are several more things tucked in here somewhere. I could shake it and then they would fall out and we still wouldn't know where they go. That's that. I thought I had something on one of the, maybe it's not, oh, I know, I'm putting this over here, and I'll make this, yeah, I can, there's room to glue it without making this a little tuck spot as well. I love how this one turned out. And of course, that gauzy stuff that I used for the bow is just the reinforcing strip that you see on gathered ribbon. Let's make sure we don't transfer any glue to the page below. Oh, it oozed out through a hole, even though I didn't get that close to the... Me squeezing it probably doesn't help. Oh, okay, this is, sorry about this glue, guys, I have to keep. This is the over the page thing. Now, again, if I would have been thinking ahead, I would have realized that, you know, kind of be aware of where you're putting decorations because you need a place to put a paper clip. Oh, and one thing that I did after the camera was off yesterday, I had those few remaining raised stickers. So I thought, okay, I'm not saving this for another day. So I just used up every single one. So if things look slightly different than the way you saw them when the video ended, it's because they are slightly different than the way they were when the video ended. Yeah, that's kind of not a great location for the... Yet, if I didn't do that, I wonder if... I don't know that I have magnets that are strong enough. See, I've got that thing there, so I can't put it there. I wonder if I did it way, way at the edge here, if that would even do the trick it's intended for. Or I suppose I could also do it like this. Sort of creases the lace a little bit, but if I do it under... I could also use a shorter paper clip. Maybe that would be half the battle. Oh, only got half of it. Okay, yeah, that's a less obvious solution. Okay. Okay, I've got this little guy, and I was going to put it here at the corner of this pocket. And what am I doing? I miss it. I could make this a tuck also. And again, I feel a little more confident with all these tucks because they are very sturdy because of the substrate, and also the fact that I'm using Fabri-Tac. You know, like sometimes I don't know if art glitter glue cuts mustard for, did I say mustard? I don't know if art glitter glue works in some of these situations as well as Fabri-Tac. Oh. I would have liked to put this here, or maybe a different one here, but because of where I put the notch, I suppose I could put it down here, or I could put it like so. Maybe this is better. It'll stick out a bit at the top of the page and a bit out to the side, and I'm not going to make this a tuck. So if those parts will be unglued, everything else will have some glue on it. What about that? Yeah, that could have a little dab. Let's lift this up so we are in total control. Ha! I ended up having to skid it over. In total control of where this thing is going down. Of course, I shouldn't have put glue on that little tag. Or tab. No, tag. And again, despite one's best efforts to get rid of surplus glue, you know, it could... Oh, I have to cover that up. We may very well come back and find that something has been glued together. I like how this turned out. And again, this page needs something. So I guess the question becomes, where on the page is that something? We have a fair bit at the top. Maybe this should be closer to the bottom. Again, we'll have it extending a bit beyond. When I was trying to get a bit of order in this place, did some putting stuff away. And that's the thing, you know, when I was kind of homebound right after my surgery, I didn't do any thrifting. So, you know, when you don't keep bringing stuff into the house, you don't have to worry about where you're going to put it. I am also, I don't know if I said that already in today's video, but I'm also a guest seller on on Angela's channel, The Traveling Crafter, for August 15th. So I have total chaos as I'm putting stuff together for the sale and or listing it in Coffee, Etsy, Maker's Market, wherever. Oh, this little guy. I think I thought that it worked better on, or was it this side? This is a digital I made out of my own carved stamps. Can't remember what my intention was here. I don't imagine you can read my mind from wherever you are. The roses feel like they need to be horizontal. So we're either going to put it here, or I think to some degree it's lost on the busyness of that page. And I'm just going to glue the whole works down, except for obviously the parts, the fabric-y parts that are, you know, extending beyond. Yeah, anyway, I think I started a thought and didn't finish it. It was about getting, you know, kind of a little organized here and so on. But what was I going to say? Don't remember. Must have been really, really important, she said sarcastically. Don't like cold beverages, so I should stop drinking that. Let's see, I wonder if it, no, probably the same place. Okay, there's this little cutie pie with the dress. Now, I think I intended it for this side. And maybe just for the heck of it, I should just put it in the middle, glue it along the one long edge, and because I think it's rigid enough that it could serve as a tuck for something lightweight. And then, you know, like it's got a wee bit of height there with that ribbon rose. I think, too, that by mixing up where on the page we attach these things, it helps distribute the bulk more evenly. And that is that. Let me stand this guy up. Anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed seeing this and maybe got a couple of ideas. If you missed yesterday's video, maybe some of the items you saw are, maybe you got tempted to go back and look at it. Oh, you know what? Maybe I could do a personal challenge to myself to link that video. Wouldn't that be progress? That's what I'm going to try to do. So again, thank you very much for joining me. We will continue to plug away at these. I don't know if it's aired or not, but the baby book for Knox has been completed and the flip through video made. So baby stuff is put away again. Yeah, baby step by baby step, I am making some headway in this room. I do hope that, you know, someday soon, I'll be able to do a studio tour video. Oh, I just found my bag of buttons for these journals. I wonder if I would need to add some to just put this thing in there with it. This thing. I wonder if, yeah, someday soon I hope to be able to do a video. Number one, just so, like Jim Rohn used to say, it's not, wait, let me see if I get this right. The goal, okay, you have to transfer the concept from that to what I'm saying here about the journals. So he was talking about wealth. So it's not the act of acquiring wealth, it's what you have to become in order to acquire the wealth or to acquire success or whatever. So it's not, the goal is not to be able to do a studio tour video. It's what it will make of me to be able to get to the point where I can do a studio tour video. And if that is not clear as mud, then so sorry. Anyway, okay, guys, we will see you in the next one. Thanks for joining me. I hope that by now, by the time you see this, we will have crossed the 1,000 subscriber mark and have given away a journal. And thank you very much if you have been part of getting me across that line. And of course, it is only your views, your comments, your thumbs up, your feedback, your friendship, your support that makes me or anyone else, I would guess, continue to do this sort of stuff. Because otherwise, trust me, it would be a lot simpler just to do this on one's own in the privacy of their homes and not go through all the time and effort of making videos and you know, burning up those brain cells trying to come up with ideas and so on. So I do it for you, I do it for me, and I'm just very appreciative of your presence here. So thank you, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.